Hello, everyone. My name is Nicole Kuipost, and today I will be discussing NHL and predictive analytics. I chose to research the paper, A Predictive Analytics Model for Forecasting Outcomes in the National Football League Games Using Decision Tree and Logistic Regression. The paper was written in 2023 by Matt Gifford and Tunke Bayrak in the Decision Analytics Journal. Sports analytics is a rapidly growing field that transforms sports-related data into valuable insights for better decision making. This field is increasingly important as it allows coaches and teams to analyze performance, predict outcomes, and gain a competitive edge. The purpose of the paper is to construct a predictive model for NFL games outcomes using decision trees and logistic regression. The question that the paper was trying to answer is identifying key team statistics that most significantly impact the winning. The data that was used was called Pro Football Reference, and it had 16 seasons from 2002 to 2017 of regular season NFL games. The key variables that they studied were offensive, defensive stats, passing yards, rushing yards, turnovers, wins, losses, home field advantage. Here I pulled two models from the paper. One was the decision tree, a classification model to determine important factors for winning. And then the next one was the binary logistic regression, a predictive model suitable for the binary outcomes. So we can see which team and what variables are most significant for the to help the team analyze if they're going to win or lose. The results from the paper were that the most important variable in the is the offensive turnovers, and other important variables are defensive turnovers and offense defense total yards. The logistic regression also confirmed that the offense turnovers are very important. And we can see that home field advantage is also a key factor into the paper. Odd ratios of defense turnovers had the greatest impact in determining whether a team will win or not. The logistic regression was a better model in this paper because it gave us more accurate outcomes over the decision tree. Gifford and Bayrock's analysis clearly demonstrates that turnovers, both offensive and defense, are critical predictors of NFL game outcomes. Defense strategies should focus on generating turnovers to disrupt opponents and gain an advantage, as well as understanding these key factors can inform game planning, player evaluation, and strategic decision making. The application of both decision tree and logistic regression models provide a comprehensive analysis and validating the importance of key predictors. It also shows how analytics can benefit the teams to have a better season and get better game plan. What I learned from this paper is that this paper will provide a valuable starting point for my project by demonstrating how decision tree and logistic regression models can be used to analyze and predict outcomes in sports. By explaining this research, by examining this research, I gained insight into how data analytics is applied in sports to identify key performance indicators and inform strategic decision making, particularly regarding the importance of turnovers. What strengths I seen in this paper were large data sets. You always want to have a larger data set when looking at outcomes and predictive models so you can have a more accurate model. The paper stated exactly what they were looking for, and the research paper identified it very, very clearly, so it was very easy to read and understand what the two researchers were trying to do. And the analysis was rigorous because the paper gave the models as it was supposed to be. And it was very important that they didn't have any faulty models because I know that when looking over other papers, sometimes they provide just random models that really don't benefit the research. So in this paper, the models were very straightforward and actually made sense in the paper. Some weaknesses was limitations of correlation analysis. Some weaknesses that we see in the paper are limitation of correlation analysis, which the author mentioned, and it also doesn't predict future games. So the data was only from 2002 to 2017, which is great for previous seasons, but when it comes to the future games, those players change, especially during drafts. So it's hard to use this data to benefit you in the future. And then another thing the paper could have mentioned was future research considerations, which they can mention that they can start using live sets to help them predict games and game matches and also help benefit the game players for future games. While Gifford and Byrack focused on win and loss, their methodology approach provides a valuable framework for my project's goals of predicting both match outcomes and scores in tennis and MLB. Like their study, my project requires a careful variable selection to identify significant predictors. I will investigate decision trees and logistic regression for outcome prediction. However, I will extend their work by incorporating regression models to predict scores, which is a key difference. Additionally, I will critically assess the limitation they acknowledge, just such as the challenge of establishing casualty and consider time series analysis to account for the sequence nature of matches and seasonal trends in baseball. Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions,